Viewers, today we will be studying about Oracle restricting and sorting data, what restricting data is all about, what sorting data is all about, clarified in this practical session. So before starting the vlog, what you need to do, please do like, share, subscribe my channel and also comment how do you like the vlog, and if you have any kind of doubts, please do mention in the comment box. I will definitely clear all your doubts. Today we will be understanding about the restricting and sorting data. So what basically is restricting data? Suppose a table has 1000 records. That is, the total number of records in a table is 1000. Amongst those 1000 records, I want only 20 records to be displayed, wherein I am not selecting all the records of a table. So selecting only those records which are needed among all the records. So this concept is known as restricting data in a table. So let us understand by query. Select employee ID, last name, job ID, department ID from employees, where department ID is equal to 90. So this query will only fetch the employee ID, last name and job ID of those records whose department ID is 90. So it is restricting the data. Next, let us study about character strings. Select last name, job ID, department ID from employees, where last name is equal to Valen. So this query will only fetch the record with last name as Valen. But remember one thing, in case of character strings, you have to put the case as it is in the data. Here the data is with W capital letter and the rest of the alphabets in small letter. So you have to put the string as the data is, because character strings are case sensitive. If suppose in the same query I write Valen all in capital letter, no record will be fetched, as we do not have any record with Valen where all the alphabets are in capital letter. Same goes with the date format. In date we have formats like DD, MON, YYYY, or even in some database it may be configured as DD, MON, YY. So character strings are case sensitive and date formats are format sensitive. If you change this format, means while querying with a date, if you put a date column in the where clause and want to find the record of that particular date, and you put the date format as YYYY, MON and DD, then this is not going to fetch you any record, as the default format which is being configured in the database is this one. So dates are format sensitive, but we will definitely study about dates in a separate chapter. Till now you understand this. In the chapter where we will be studying specifically about dates, there I will be explaining each and everything. So next comes is the comparison condition. So what are the comparison conditions in SQL? Equal to, greater than equal to, less than equal to, or not equal to. Let us understand it by example. Select last name, salary from employees, where salary less than equal to 3000. So this query will only fetch the records whose salary is less than equal to 3000. That is, whose salary starting from 0 up till 3000. We will include 3000 value because the comparison condition used here is less than equal to. If the comparison condition would have used less than, then the value would have been searched from 0 to 2900. That is immediately the previous number of 3000. Okay. So there are some other comparison conditions like between and, in, like and is none. Let us understand each one by example. Select last name, comma salary from employees where salary between 2500 and 3500. This query will fetch the records between 2500 and 3500, which means the salary between 2500 and 3500, but inclusive these two values. Okay, so 2000, if there is any record with 2500, that will also be fetched. If there is any record with 3500, that will also be fetched, and in between, if there are any values between 2500 and 3500, those records will also be fetched. See here, Coleman Harris has a value of 2500, that is fetched, and Rajesh has a value of 3500, that is salary of 3500, that record will also be fetched. So if you have a range to be selected, always use between and operator. So let us understand using the in condition. Here what I have written, select employee ID, last name, salary, manager ID from employees where manager ID in 100, 101, 201. This values within the first bracket, opening and closing, within the opening and closing first bracket. So this is known as the list of the in condition. So only the records pertaining to these values will be displayed. No other records will be displayed. Records with manager ID 100, 101 and 201, only those records will be displayed. Same thing goes with the character strings. Select, if I write it here like this, same query, but here it will be last name in, and as I said, character strings are case sensitive. HARTSTEIN and vargas. Okay, so this record will only fetch, so this query, basically not record, so this query will only fetch those records with last name as Hartstein and Vargas. Next will be the like condition. So what is basically like? Like is nothing but a wildcard search condition. So let us understand by example. Select first name from employees where first name like S. No, this will be capital S. Yeah. So this query will only retrieve those records whose first name starts with capital S. So you see, all the records having first name starting with capital S is being displayed. Next, select last name from employees where last name like underscore small o then percentage. It is not small o then percentage. So this query will only fetch those records whose second alphabet is O. So this underscore after the like operator denotes that there is a single character which needs to be searched. We don't know what exactly the single character is, and this is basically the first character of the last name. So we don't know what the first character is, we only know the second character. So in those cases where you need to search with a single character and you do not know what that is, so you need to use underscore. Okay, so that can be the first character, that even can be the second character, or even can be the third character. If suppose you know the third character, then you need to put another underscore here, then you need to put the third character if you know that what exactly the third character is. Okay. Now we will understand about the escape character and what is the difference between the escape character and why do we use the escape character. Select employee ID, last name, job ID from employees where job ID like percentage SA. This backslash is known as the escape character, then again percentage, then we need to mention that what the escape character is. Okay, so before running this query, let me show you the value of the job ID column in the employees table. See, okay, I think there must be some, oh, okay, I put to from, fine. Yeah, so here you see that the job ID column we have values like add underscore praise. So this underscore is basically a part of the value add underscore praise of the job ID column of the employees table, right? But in the like operator we also used an underscore. So in order to differentiate that the underscore which we are using for the search is not the like operator wildcard search character, it is basically an underscore of the value. In order to make the differentiation of both the underscores, we use the escape character. So what the escape character will do, let me run the query. This will only search those records starting with SA underscore, and this underscore is a part of SA underscore man value and not a wildcard search character of the like operator. So in order to differentiate those underscores, we use the escape character. Now let us understand about the null condition. Select last name, comma, manager ID from employees where manager ID is null. Here what will happen, only those record or records will be displayed whose manager ID is null, which means in which there is no value. Okay, so the manager ID column where there will be no values, only those records will be displayed. So now we will be understanding about logical conditions. We have three logical conditions, and, or, and not. So what does these logical conditions do? Select employee ID, comma, last name, comma, job ID, salary from employees where salary greater than equal to 10,000 and job ID like man. So this query will only fetch those records whose salary is greater than equal to 10,000 as well as the job ID has a value MAN in its record, in its data. Okay, so basically you need to understand that once we use the AND logical condition, so there are two conditions in this query. Number one is this and number two is this. So both the condition has to be true, that there must be record whose salary is greater than equal to 10,000 and the job ID contains the value MAN in its data. Okay, if any of the condition fails, with AND logical condition, no rows will be returned from the query. Now let me copy the same query. Okay, so there are how many records? Total 7 records. So now I put a OR logical condition here. Once I put a OR logical condition, the number of records increased to 24. Okay, why? Because OR means either one of the condition has to be true. If you have a salary which is like if this condition is true and job ID condition is false, then also the record will be displayed, and vice versa. If job ID condition is true and salary condition is false, then also the record will be displayed. I'll give you another example. With the AND operator, I put salary as less than equal to 10. We do not have any value which is less than equal to 10. So in case of AND logical condition, see, no record will be displayed. Why? Because both the condition needs to be true. But here, with the OR logical condition, if I put salary less than equal to 10, then the record will be displayed, because any one condition needs to be true. This condition, in this case, in this query, salary less than equal to 10 is returning false because we do not have any record with salary less than equal to 10 value. But we have a record with job ID with man value in its data. So it is returning record for only this condition, not for this condition. Okay, and in AND logical condition, it is not returning any of the record as both the condition is not true. Now comes the NOT operator. Select last name, job ID from employees where job ID not in IT underscore prog, comma, ST underscore clerk, comma, SA underscore reg. So this record, this query, not record, this query will only fetch those records whose job ID doesn't contain these three values: IT prog, ST clerk and SRF. Apart from these three values, rest of the job ID records will be retrieved. So let us understand the rules of precedence by example. So here in this example, select last name, job ID, salary from employees where job ID equal to SRF or job ID equal to @press and salary greater than 15,000. Here we have three conditions: condition number 1, condition number 2, condition number 3. So as and logical condition has higher rule of precedence than or, in that case what will happen? Job ID equal to @press and salary greater than 15,000 will be executed first. Then with the resultant value, that is the value which will be fetched on with these two conditions. So on that value, the job ID is equal to SRF or those values, that condition will be executed. So first of all, these two will be executed, and after that, based on the resultant value, this condition or the resultant value will be executed and the output will be fetched. So see what will give. Yeah. So this is what it has given, a total of 31 records. If we want to change this rules of precedence, this is the default rule of precedence in SQL. If we want to change this rule of precedence, we need to use parenthesis. Say for instance, we do not want the AND logical condition to be executed first. We want the OR logical condition to be executed. But as per the rule, AND will be executed first and OR will be executed after that. So we will change that rule of precedence with a parenthesis. Once we put parenthesis, so the condition between which the parenthesis will be put, that condition will be executed first. In this case, first job ID equal to, it will search for job ID equal to SRF or job ID equal to @press, then it will search for salary which is greater than 15,000. See, okay, so you notice that in the previous query it is returning total of 31 records, but in the next query, where I am changing the rule of precedence, it is returning only one record, because first of all it is searching for @press or SRF, it is taking the result, and then from that result it is searching whose salary is greater than 15,000. The same thing goes for this one also. First it is searching for job ID @press and salary greater than 15,000, and then from that record it is also searching whose job ID is also SRF. Okay, that is @press or SRF. Okay, now we will study about the order by clause. So up till this, restricting data is completed. Now we will study about the order by clause. Select last name, job ID, department ID and hire date from employees. Order by hire date. First of all, you have to be very clear about one thing, that order by clause is the last clause of any SQL query. Select, from, group by, where, having, any clause you mention, the last clause is the order by clause. So this will fetch all the last name, job ID, department ID and hire date of those employees in a ascending order. By default, if you do not put anything like in which order it will be sorted, by default it is the ascending order. Okay, so which means the lowest value will be at the top, the highest value will be at the bottom. Okay, so if we want to change this and we want to see that which employees has been hired very recently, you need to put a DESC after hire date. DESC signifies that the hire date will be sorted or according to the descending order, that is the highest value at the top and the lowest value at the bottom. That means, see here in the previous query, the value that came first is 130101. So if we run this query, the value which comes first is 21408, which means this is the last hire date of Kumar, that is the last hire date of this employee. Okay, of suppose in a company there are thousands of employees working, so which employee has been hired lastly? If you want to get that record, so you need to only put a DESC after hire date column in the order by clause, which will sort the hire date column and the corresponding records in a descending order, putting the last hiring date at the top. Okay. Now, sorting by column alias. Select employee ID, last name, salary multiplied by 12 and cell from employees, order by and cell. As I said previously that column alias is only used to name a column, which means employee ID, last name, salary exists in the employees table, but salary into 12 column doesn't exist in the employee table. It is only for this query, for the output of this query, that it is creating a separate column, okay, with the name as Ansel, as I have given a column alias name. So as it is creating a separate column for this particular query output, so we can easily sort with the column alias name also. It is not mandatory that we have to sort with the column name of the employees table, because Ansel, we do not have any column of Ansel in employees table, so we can sort with the column alias name also. So by ascending or descending order. Now sorting by multiple columns. Select last name, department ID, salary from employees, order by department ID, salary, DESC. Okay, so here what will happen? It will sort first by department ID and then by salary in descending manner. Okay, another one thing I need to mention, that there is no mandatory rule that you have to mention only those columns in the order by clause which are mentioned in the select clause. No, you can even mention the columns in the order by clause which are not in the select clause but in the employees table. So that's all from this session. I hope you will learn a lot about restricting and sorting data. Stay tuned to my channel for the next upcoming vlog on single row functions. I hope you have liked the tutorial, and this will give you a brief understanding and clarity about what restricting and sorting data is all about, because I have explained by each and every query of the topic. Please do follow my description box, because there I will be mentioning that what exactly the topics I have covered in this tutorial. So without much delay, please do like, share, subscribe my channel and comment. And don't forget to mention your doubts. I am there to solve all of your doubts. My contact number will also be given in the description box. If you have any kind of doubts, you can definitely give me a call and I will surely solve all your doubts. Happy learning and thanks for watching.